So, my name is Alex Levesque. I am a senior at St. Mary's. I'm on track to graduate in this fall?
Spring.
In the spring. I never know what I think. So, I'm on track to graduate in the spring. So, over my life, I've dealt with many difficulties, very varying physical difficulties. When I was a baby, I was given shots like any baby has, but my body reacted differently. I had a bad reaction. I started to get very sick, lose weight, and then, as we found in the future, I had to live a very different life than anyone else. I could not feel from my knee down or from my wrist down. And I had to come to the realization that I was going to have to live life differently than everyone else. I wanted to, even though I was going to have to live life differently, I wanted to go on the same track as my older brother and sister who don't have these complications. So that's always been my goal. I went through the same grammar school as them. I went through the same high school as them. And now I'm graduating from St. Mary's like my sister and brother both did. In high school is when I really found myself and found my confidence. And coming into St. Mary's, I wanted to continue that confidence. And St. Mary's has really helped me with that. When I applied for St. Mary's, they addressed me saying that we might not have the equipment or the means necessary to help you. But I insisted I come anyway. And we have made it work through the people here and their willingness to help.
How has St. Mary's helped you in your life, growing as a person, and following your dreams of being a motivational speaker?
So I think that how St. Mary's has helped me is by coming to the realization that I can do what I want and be able to achieve my dreams. Because coming in here, I was even skeptical that I probably wouldn't be able to make it through, or that maybe I would not be as successful as I am. So I think that St. Mary's has helped me gain confidence in who I am and what I can accomplish, and also open the door to new heights that I could reach for. So I think that is a way that St. Mary's has really helped me figure out that, as I say in my many speeches, impossible is nothing.
Impossible is nothing. That is cool. And what is impossible is nothing? What does that mean to you? Where does that come from? Why is that so special to you?
Because throughout my life and throughout my years of schooling, I've been told constantly that it would be impossible for you to go to your high school that you wanted to do. It would be impossible to go to the St. Mary's College. But through my family support and my confidence in myself, I know that nothing is impossible for me. So, and I thank St. Mary's for giving me the chance to show them that impossible is nothing to me, and that if you work hard and try hard, that anything can be possible.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, you can't articulate it much better than that. I mean, you embody impossible is nothing. I'll never forget, the first time when we met, I was like, wow. So.
Freddie, what is your story, and how has St. Mary's helped you through your struggles and your situation?
Definitely. St. Mary's was crucial in terms of my story. My story, in a nutshell, is I grew up as an only child, 2 loving parents, mom and dad, and we had a car accident in 1998, and a drunk driver hit our family, and ever since that day, my mom's lived in bed for 18 years now. So she lives her entire life in bed, and it's been a really big struggle for me to deal with as an only child and as a son, as a caregiver. It's been tough. And with that, I've grown as a man, I've grown to who I am as a person from the struggles. On top of that, our family medical bills started to pile up, and we ended up going through some huge financial struggles, and that was very difficult. We ended up losing our house, foreclosure, and went homeless for a little while, a couple months, and that was a very difficult situation. And it was crazy because all that stuff climaxed right when I came to St. Mary's. So I came to St. Mary's in 2009, and that was right after the '08 crash and when everything was happening with my family, just financially and obviously dealing with my health stuff. Actually, right when I came into St. Mary's, my mom had a huge cancer surgery. So on top of all the back pain and struggles with her health and her body, they split her open from here to here, and it was a very tough situation. So just some really hard stuff dealing with her health and the financial struggles. And St. Mary's, it was the people here, like I told you earlier, the people just got me through it. God first and foremost, and then after God, it was, people like Ete Anderson. She was a good listening ear for me. She was a good counselor. She listened to a lot of my struggles. And I think that's the thing with St. Mary's is a lot of people just have, they care, and they really do want the best for you. After Ete, there was Ed, Big Ed, Crazy Ed Taiwaniak. The thing about him is he really launched my career as a speaker, because like what you're doing now with your capstone, I did a senior thesis and I wrote a project, and he launched that for me, which was kind of the rocket to starting as a speaker. And then after Ed, there was some really amazing people. Sue Fallis, and she was instrumental in just being a giving, helping person to me. Father Rousseau and Father Sal, just really good friends. And it's the people at the school that really embody, we enter to learn and leave to serve. And they embody what it means to be servant leaders and go forth and take what you learn here out there.
So, through my advisor at Taiwaniak, I've been able to remain on track and I'll be able to accomplish my goal of graduating in 4 years. Ed has helped me do this by taking not online, but summer school courses, and also because I have more struggled to get around and do things, I get more tired, so I've only been taking 3 classes a semester, but Ed has helped me in a way to work it out so that I'm still able to graduate on time through taking the summer school and independent studies. So Ed has been a significant factor in me graduating. Other than that, it's just my friends and family being able to support me in my journey throughout this journey. I think that enter to learn, leave to serve has also been instrumental in my life too. I told you I realized I wanted to be a motivational speaker in high school, and that was also my high school's motto: is enter to learn, leave to serve.
That was at De La Salle.
Yeah, at De La Salle. So I think that motto is another connection that we both share, but we just found it at different points in our lives. I think the point that we needed it the most, because you started dealing with many of your issues in college, and I started to realize who I was and I've prided myself in high school. So I think that motto is another connection that we both share.
Yeah. It's crazy how you and I are very similar and very different.
Yeah.
You and I both have different stories. You have your story and the struggles you've been through, and mine have been kind of a lot different. But I think the thing that brings us together, something that you and I have talked about a lot, is our faith, and it's God, and that's the heart and soul of St. Mary's. I mean, St. Mary's, faith in the presence of God. It's the number one thing. St. John Baptist de La Salle.
Pray for us.
Live Jesus in our
hearts.
Live for.
Ever.
I know I kind of messed that up, but anywho, that's the heart and soul of our education.
Yeah, and every day, every time I go to like a prayer service or any meeting at St. Mary's, and they say, "Live Jesus in our hearts," I automatically say forever, and everyone else around me is like, "What's this guy doing?" But it's ingrained in me.
Yeah. I guess this is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
Where have you been? What's going on? What's going on with your speaking career?
So I've actually done a couple of events already. I've spoken at my old grammar school, Christ the King, to the whole student body. I spoke to a school in Richmond, to their 6th grade class. I spoke to St. Mary's Elementary School, to their 6th grade class. And I spoke to an adult day center where it's adults with acquired brain injuries. So they've either gotten in accidents or had some sort of abuse in their life. So they have to be in the school now with those to get back on track, kind of.
So you've spoken at a couple schools and at the adult center.
Yeah.
What have you spoken about? What's kind of been your message? Impossible is nothing.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that?
Basically never letting people tell you that you can't or are not able to do something. And also at the grammar schools, kind of about forgiveness as well. And accepting people with differences. So I remember speaking to the kids about if they come across somebody who is different physically or even mentally, to accept them and give them a chance before judging them. So those have been my main points, and so far the kids have really responded well. And
what are some things they've said? How's it going?
It's going great. They are even using they wrote me some letters, like Christ the King, the 6th and 7th grade wrote me all letters. And also the principal of the adult day school wrote me a thank you note too, which are on my blog. And you can check that out there. And it's just, that's the reason that I am doing this, is to change lives. And to go there and speak, it's awesome. But to actually get the feedback is what I'm doing this for, because when I get those notifications, it means I'm making a difference. So that's what I love.
The thing that I love hearing about when you speak is how your message really embodies faith, hope, and love. I mean, everything you speak about, it brings those things together, and I think it's pretty powerful.
So what about you, Freddie? How have you and your speaking career blossomed?
Definitely. Well, it all started at St. Mary's. Started with, cool people that were here to help, good mentors. And the mentors and the friends that carried on from the school. It's been amazing. I'm doing something very similar to what you are, working with breaking down the walls, and it's been awesome in terms of, you talked about, not judging people, and that's something that I speak about and whatnot with kids, and we work on that kind of stuff and breaking down those walls of stereotypes and all that. So really working towards improving school culture. It's been so much fun, And like you, the responses and the feedback is, it's nice. I mean, it feels good, but it feels good that they're responding and making the change in themselves. You know, so it's really cool. We're kind of, it's almost like we plant the seed. You and I, we plant the seed for something beautiful to grow.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's something that I kind of feared too, is when I went into these schools, would they really understand? Because some of the kids are real young. And even the kindergartner and first graders, they were asking the most intelligent questions after that. I had to sit back and like, oh wow, I've never been asked that before. It's coming from such a young age. So I think that the innocence in them is really not only changing them, but also helping change me and finding the way I look at life.